Today on Israel Hayom Insider. During a long holiday season in which the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur and the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha coincided, and against the backdrop of confrontations on the Temple Mount and combative speeches at the UN, Israel is battered by a wave of terrorist attacks, violent demonstrations, and reprisal attacks that have both sides asking, are we on the brink of a third intifada? With me in the studio, Alyssa Frank. I'm Steve Ganot. So Alyssa, how has your holiday been?
Bittersweet.
Yeah. What's the mood like?
Gosh, I think everybody's just trying to make the best of it, but it's very difficult not to feel the energy.
Yeah.
And it's palpable. I use this word a lot lately because it's just thick, the air.
Yeah.
And people hug their children a little bit more. And everything seems as if I'm wearing a different colored glass lens lately.
Yeah. I can tell you that in my synagogue, I think the dancing for Simchat Torah was extra fervent. Yes, fervent. Exactly. Which is a little scary, a little bit militant, but also people want to say, we're here, we're not going away. This terrorism is not going to stop us.
I don't think dancing is going to stop the terrorism, though.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But
I always this thing that if we dance harder and stronger.
No, of course, but it's kind of like a non-violent protest, a demonstration saying we're not going away.
Okay.
And why do you think the violence is happening now?
In my opinion?
In your opinion.
Yeah, and Alyssa's got a strong
now?
opinion. Wow, was it okay, so I am all over Facebook. I mean, this is just, it's 24/7 right now because I need to get the information out to America and everybody else. Mm-hmm. I would like to bring the concept of Wayne coping, and he said, and I really truly agree, listen, their PR has been going down lately, those Arabs in the West Bank and Gaza, so why not incite it a little bit more?
Right. It seems like the Palestinian issue has been sidelined. There's a lot of focus, obviously, on what's going on in Syria. Now Russia's in Syria. The rise of Iran. I think many Arab countries are more concerned about themselves in this confrontation or in this challenge from Iran than they are concerned about the Palestinians.
Well, maybe the facts aren't exactly how they express it, and maybe other people have just kind of gotten tired of the situation of listening to their story because maybe it's a false narrative, perhaps.
Maybe, but
good chance, real good chance. Yeah.
But I think that the world can move on, and it'll move on, and then it'll put focus back on our issue, and then it'll move on again. We can't afford to move on. In other words, this is our major existential issue. It's not going away. But for the world, their attention comes and goes.
I think it's important to take us out of news and take us out of words and take us into personal accounts.
Yeah.
For example, a friend of mine was driving to work this morning on the road to Tekoa on the way to Jerusalem, and because of the weather, everybody was slowing down, and there was somewhat of a traffic jam, and he looked up, and many Jews saw about 50 Arabs running with murder in their eyes and cylinder blocks in their hands. Yeah. This is crazy, and unfortunately, the army has certain rules. Their hands are tied a little bit because they are really restraining on fighting back. This is and they can't protect. We can't protect our own civilians.
Right now, there's a lot of controversy, I guess, a lot of different opinions about how much restraint Israel should show, and you're right. I mean, people on the roads are complaining. We're getting rocks thrown at our windshields. We're getting attacked. Obviously, Israel has to bring peace and quiet back.
I'd like to make another comment in regards to, it's an elephant here all the time, because you know as well as I know, left, right, on political ways, there's some lefties saying, well, they are living over the green line and they are doing this, so, they're open to be hit by rocks. You know what? No way. There are people walking in the old city. The guy had his throat slit. Someone is driving home, shot in front of their 4 children. Last night we had a demonstration here in Tel Aviv. I mean, it's real close. It's all over.
Okay, I want to. I'll say one thing about that.
Yeah.
Which is that some of the left wing human rights organizations have condemned what's going on, have condemned the attacks on Israelis without any hesitation. It's not all,
Well,
it's not all bad.
shame on them if they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Why should they not?
Absolutely.
Excuse me, but I mean, we have the leader of, we have Abbas who's saying that Israel is inciting the situation,
Right.
killing the people that are murdering our Jewish civilians.
Right.
So I'm not buying it. And I don't need to say, oh, well, that's really great that a lefty organization has decided to acknowledge horrific and heinous murders.
Well, you criticize them for not acknowledging it, but some of them are acknowledging it.
Well,
That needs to be said.
That's really great.
That
I'm
needs to
really
be said.
proud of them, yeah.
I want to talk also about the press coverage, which the press coverage overseas has been atrocious.
Pathetic.
And pathetic. There's a famous, I guess, BBC headline, which came out immediately after this incident, after this killing.
Can we put it in neon lights to make sure that everybody gets it?
Well, here it is. Palestinian shot dead after Jerusalem attack kills 2. No indication that the Palestinian who was shot dead was the killer.
Can we help the BBC? Can we make our can we redo
So
their
there have
headline,
been
you and
many,
I?
many
Because they've done it already 5 times.
They do it every time, almost every time. There have been many complaints. I don't know if it's getting any better. It seems like it's not.
No, they corrected their headline 5 times. But I would like to help the BBC. I would like to say, 2 fathers horrifically murdered, a mother stabbed in the shoulder, laughed at, spit at, kicked, and told she should die, a 2-year-old baby shot. This is insane by a 19-year-old or a 22-year-old Arab kid who learned hate from day 1 that he was born. That's the headline I'd like to use. Sorry.
There was also an Al Jazeera headline very much along the same lines, but the result was not the same. I mean, they said Palestinian shot dead after fatal stabbing in Jerusalem, 2 Israeli victims also killed. Okay, the Palestinian who was shot dead was the killer. Okay, he was on his way to kill more people. They didn't say that. They got a lot of complaints, and to Al Jazeera's credit, they actually apologized. Okay, they said this criticism is valid. The criticism that they got for this headline.
That I appreciate.
Yeah,
because I respect Al Jazeera as a news station.
Well, they've been terrible in some cases, and at some times during the war in Gaza, they were terrible. This should be said. You know, when they do something right, we should acknowledge it. We regret that the wording of the tweet was under pressure of breaking news. I don't really believe that. You have to work hard, by the way. You have to work hard to create a headline that hides the facts.
Yeah, they're very, very creative, right, at the BBC. I mean, it's even, you know, I'm so angry, I'm so sad, I'm so down about this, but the reality of it is that I feel like they're sitting in a news station in BBC and making a joke of this. And these are lives, these are families just destroyed. These are 6 orphan kids. It's just, it's too much. It's too much.
I want to go to the big picture a little bit. Talk about third intifada. Are we at the
I'd like to call it an Islamic uprising.
Are we on the brink of an Islamic uprising, of a third intifada?
You know, I've been through 3 wars. A friend of mine called me. She just moved here from New York, and she said, "So now what? What's going on, Alyssa?" You know, and I'm like, "Just hold tight. We just don't know. You know, it could be 3 boys kidnapped. It could be this. You never know. I would think a whole lot of Jews being murdered might start something. I mean, and let's not ignore that since this holiday season has been going on, I've been waking up in the middle of the night because Israel has been rocketed from Gaza.
Right. People don't even hear about that.
Yeah.
We went to the beach during the holiday between Ashdod and Ashkelon.
Oh, you had a siren at the beach?
No, not at no.
Okay.
But that night, Ashdod was rocketed from Gaza. Okay, we didn't see it, but it happened like as we were driving home. They were rocketed.
I mean,
yeah.
What? Hello, I can't imagine any part of the U.S. being rocketed and being okay with it. It just needs to be acknowledged a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's not because maybe we're Jews and maybe it just doesn't matter. Well, I hate to think that.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have to wait and see how things develop. Hopefully, calm will prevail, and we will not be. We're not seeing, hopefully, a third intifada. It could happen. They've got a lot to lose. We have a lot to lose. They have more to lose. I hope that they know that. And
I don't think we're dealing with rational minds.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is the end of it. I think this is whipping it up. We're just the storm. It's the eye of the storm right now.
Every time there's a wave of terrorism like this,
yeah.
it sets us back. And when there's an intifada, it sets us back by a generation. Okay, so. This is
yes, it's very hard to walk into the cafe where, you know, I know these faces. I'm going to just say it. It's not in a racist way, but these are Arab guys serving me. I know their names. I know their smiles. I know who they are. And I look at them in the next morning after a murder and I go, how are we doing today? And we talk to each other and we say, wow. Where's it going from here?
Yeah.
I don't hate you. I don't know you.
Right.
But I hate the terrorism that you put upon my people and you put upon my fellow Israelis. Nikuda. Period.
Alyssa, I want to thank you. Difficult discussion. We're going to have to wait and see
hard.
how things develop. Hopefully, calm will prevail. To our viewers, thank you for continuing to watch us, and we'll see you next time.